9:41. Well, today Minuit are releasing a new single for charity. To find out more about this and why, well, we've got Paul from Minuit joining us via live Skype video this morning. Morning to you, Paul.
Hey, morning, Wemo.
Good morning. Nice to have you on. Now, you've recently returned from Haiti, is that right?
Yeah, it was a bit earlier this year, probably about May. But yeah, it does feel a bit like yesterday. I've been working pretty hard to make up a whole lot of video clips as well at the time over there. And yeah, man, wow, what a place.
Well, I'd imagine. So that earthquake, refresh us on the time frame of this, because after the Christchurch earthquakes and other various, and the earthquake in Japan, the Haiti situation has kind of fallen out of the media's radar of what's going on. So refresh us on what has gone down there.
Well, it's a good point, isn't it? The Haiti quake was January 2010. So what's that? That's like 18 months or more away now. Yeah. And it was, of course, huge news at the time. I think mainly in New Zealand as well, because there's a New Zealander who'd lost family over there as well, and it was a big news article at the time. But as you say, then of course media attention heads away from a certain event. But of course, for the people who are involved in that event, nothing's changing back home. Yeah. And we can relate this now to Christchurch, as you say. You know, like it was the aftershocks and the things that occur afterwards. They might not be newsworthy around the world, but for people who are living there, it's a major deal. And I mean, the Haiti quake, you know, was similar magnitude as Christchurch, but like the whole, pretty much the death toll was about the population of Christchurch. Yeah. Because the infrastructure was so bad in Haiti, and there was 1 million people were homeless from that quake as well. So it's like the entire city of Auckland just having to go find a new place to live overnight, which is you know, phenomenal. Yeah. So the scale of this really boggles the mind. What did you see when you arrived there, and what were your experiences? I guess the main thing is the devastation is everywhere. So a lot of news reports were based in Port-au-Prince, you know, the capital. But the centre of the earthquake was actually in Leogane, which you drive for an hour to get to Leogane. Huh. Yeah. So the extent of the damage was so broad and so vast. And so yeah, you could drive for an hour to Leogane, and along the road you're just seeing the same thing. There's piles of rubble and piles of concrete. Concrete's the main thing that buildings are made out of over there, and they just crumbled, they just crashed, and so there's just concrete everywhere. And how do you move concrete? You know, it's like manual labour. That's pretty intense. And so a lot of this rubble is still there on the sides of roads. There's not heavy machinery to be able to move them. A lot of that, you know, reinforcing bars, big kind of walls of concrete are just lying there. Wow. What about the help that Haiti has received since the earthquake? You know, there was this focus on Haiti for a while, and we did see the aid agencies there. America was meant to be giving a whole bunch of money. What's actually happened? Sure. Actually, well, that's a good question too. When we went over there, I thought, hey, let's go and see where some of New Zealand's money was spent, and I've made up a clip. If you look for it, there's a clip online where we went to visit some of the Oxfam projects, because New Zealanders donated money to them, and it was interesting to go and see what they had actually done with New Zealanders' money in a practical sense. And it was often infrastructure, you know, like building toilets and like sanitation and health and education on I don't know, washing and how to get over that cholera and things like that, and just getting the everyday kind of local communities back up and running. It just takes so much energy and time and money, and yeah, like you say, the states, I mean, they committed a lot of money to Haiti, and I wouldn't want to speak too much about that, but the same as everywhere on the planet, I don't know how much of that ends up in the country, and how much gets tied up in red tape, and how much is pledged but maybe doesn't quite arrive. You know, like that's maybe a conversation for another time. But I guess I guess what we did see was people sometimes bit off what they could chew. So amongst that vast devastation, there was groups of people who said, yes, but I can do this. And they basically fenced off a small area and said, all right, this is what we can, metaphorically, and said, this is what we can fix. And so I went over with Emily, who's the New Zealander who'd lost her husband and 2 girls, and she set up a foundation called Kenbe, and that's supporting existing schools to help get children into education, because for her, she sees that as a very positive thing, that you can put your money into these young children, and this will give them the ability to be able to help themselves in the future. So it's not just aid feeding your stomach for the day. It's investing in the future of these young people in Haiti, so that it'll be them that make change. That's the theory behind it.
So it's Kenbe that is what you are swinging in behind, and that's what you're focusing on, because as you say, you need to focus on something. That otherwise, if you just looked at the whole situation, it's all too enormous. You need to focus on this one thing.
Well, yes, I think that's from what I saw over there. That feels like the most positive way to move ahead, to move forwards. To isolate a thing and say, I can do this well, I'll bite off what I can chew. Yeah. And so donating to these initiatives is giving them a bigger set of teeth, really.
Yeah. And being a musician, of course, the best thing you can do is make music, right? And put it out there for a good cause. So you guys are releasing a single today called Kenbe. Tell us about that.
Well, that's right. As musicians, the natural response is to make music. And while music can't save the world, maybe the people who listen to it can. And so we've made this track. It's not strictly a Minuit track. I've produced the music, and Ryan from Minuit mixed it. But there's a collaboration of vocalists on it. So Lisa Tomlins from Wellington is the female vocal, and Nelson MC, Luke Ipapara, the Colonel MC. He wrote and performs the verses in it. And we were also able to get like a Haitian musician, Mika Ben. He does a bridge part in there as well. Cool. And after hearing Emily's story, he was like, yeah, totally, I'll commit to this, because he's quite a big deal. He's like a pop star in Haiti, and we basically just hit him up on Facebook, and or Emily did, and we met him when we were over there, and he's like, yep, cool, I'll do this thing. So yeah, the track's out today, and it's only like $1.30 to download, so it's like a token thing. But I kind of feel like there's actually quite a lot of support for the foundation and Emily's story in New Zealand, and potentially this could go into the charts, which would be to me phenomenal. It's not really a pop tune. Some of it's in French, some of it's in Haitian, some of it's in English. Yeah. But I like, if there's one thing you want to share on Facebook this week, I reckon share this track.
This is it, and get it into the charts, and also download it and purchase it as well. So, and I guess I suppose it's not just the funds, but it's also raising awareness of the situation there, but also of the foundation and what might flow on from that awareness, I guess, is the point as well.
Well, indeed, Emily's doing a lot of work. This is just one very small part, and I talked to her this morning. She's over the moon, for her, and for her husband Emmanuel. He was like, music was a huge part of his life, and so this track is dedicated to him from me as well. Okay. Because sometimes that is all you can do, like you can't do everything, but you can do maybe one small thing. Yeah. Oh, well, this is my thing.
Yeah, and it's great. Well, we're going to hear the tune now, Kenbe, from Minuit, featuring Lisa Tomlins and the other acts as well. Lisa Tomlins,
Colonel MC, and Mika Ben.
And Mika Ben, brilliant. Hey, Paul, thanks so much for joining us, and we'll have you back on the show again soon, hey?
Oh, cheers! Check out the track, check out the music video as well, and we'll talk soon.
See ya.